Pakistan's popular opposition leader is under arrest. Imran Khan was ousted as Prime Minister a year ago. Now he's facing dozens of criminal charges. Supporters say the cases are politically motivated. Could his arrest plunge Pakistan into turmoil? This is Inside Story. I'm Imran Khan. Welcome to the show. Pakistan is on the edge again. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been indicted. His arrest at a court in Islamabad has escalated long-simmering political tensions, and thousands of Khan supporters protested in a show of anger, much of it directed at the military. Pakistan is already dealing with multiple issues, from an economic crisis to the aftermath of catastrophic floods. And now, the political power struggle threatens to distract the government from addressing these challenges. Lots to discuss. Kulsum Sharif sets the scene for us.
Hundreds of arrests across cities in Pakistan and emergency orders in place. But that hasn't stopped supporters of former Prime Minister Imran Khan from staging demonstrations. The army has been deployed in the Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa provinces, strongholds of his Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party. In Peshawar, police fired tear gas to disperse crowds.
Imran Khan's arrest is illegal and unconstitutional. The protests started on Tuesday evening and continued through the night and are still going on. The protesters will not stop until Imran Khan is released.
Scenes like these have forced Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif to cut short a trip to London. After Khan's arrest at a court in Islamabad on Tuesday, his supporters stormed the army headquarters in Rawalpindi. As the violence spread, the government suspended mobile and broadband internet services and some schools were closed. Khan's party, which had called for nationwide protests and a shutdown, distanced itself from the violence.
The scenes that came on the media of loot and plunder are most deplorable. Because Mr. Khan had been championing all through his career that he stands for rule of law, and today he and his followers are showing examples of worst fascist responses that one can ever find in history.
After 4 years in power, Khan was removed from his office in a no-confidence vote last year. The cricketing legend turned politician faces dozens of charges related to terrorism, sedition and corruption. He maintains the accusations are politically motivated. In November, he was shot and wounded in what his party described as an assassination attempt. Khan accused the Prime Minister, Interior Minister and a general in the Pakistani intelligence agency of orchestrating the attack. On Monday, in a rare rebuke, the military warned him to stop what it called fabricated and malicious allegations against state institutions.
The main thing is now the clash between Imran Khan and the military, because the military is also openly condemning Imran Khan for his statement against the military and intelligence officer. This thing could further complicate the Pakistani political atmosphere, and also because we have also been facing economic problems. So I think Pakistan is in trouble now.
The unrest comes as Pakistan faces an economic crisis. The local currency fell to a record low against the US dollar on Wednesday, and a loan from the International Monetary Fund has been delayed. Political unrest and a renewed struggle for power are likely to worsen Pakistan's troubles. Kulsum Sharif for Inside Story.
Let's now get the thoughts of all our guests who are in Islamabad. Zulfikar Bukhari is a senior member of Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party. Nasim Zehra is a journalist and political commentator, as well as an anchor on Pakistan's Channel 24. And Javaid ur-Rahman is a parliamentary correspondent at The Nation, a leading daily newspaper in Pakistan. A warm welcome to you all. I'd like to start with Zulfikar Bukhari in Islamabad. The simple fact of the matter is that there are several court cases against the former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan. He hasn't appeared in court for any of them. This was a legitimate arrest.
Look, I think that's absolutely nonsense. He's appeared many times for all of them. Every single time he has to appear, there has to be millions of rupees spent on police and other paramilitary and safeguarding public interest. He requested the use of technology. It's ironic that the use of technology wasn't allowed for Imran Khan, but it was allowed for the assassin who attempted the assassination upon Imran Khan. He was allowed the use of technology, but Imran Khan never was. And Imran maintained that so many people coming out, it's a risk to his life. He's had 2 assassination attempts on him, yet the courts couldn't do anything. And today, funny enough, they declared a jail a court and held a hearing there. Whereas all this time, with about 140 odd cases, they could have done very similar steps at the time to avoid any forms of clashes or any harm to the public at large. So it's just, you can see what's going on. It's a complete sham, and it's just become a kangaroo court. And let's be very clear: we're in a martial law with just a facade of a puppet government.
Nasim Zehra, do you think the Pakistani state has cases against Imran Khan, and this is all being handled legitimately?
Well, I think that there are cases and cases. I think that there are 100+ cases, of which I guess overwhelming majority are just nothing but a way to put pressure on Imran Khan. But let me just add here that as far as the National Accountability Bureau is concerned and the cases that are initiated under it, Zulfikar Bukhari certainly knows about all that, because during his government, I can start taking names, and about half a dozen senior PMLN people were put behind bars for not days, months, but for years, invoking the NAB law that has been invoked. I think that unfortunately the NAB law, none of the political parties have really tried to do away with it. In fact, this party is the one in power now, changed it, and under that law, when you go from inquiry to investigation of anybody, you can arrest the person. So let me say that technically speaking, if Imran Khan, like multiple other leaders of PMLN, whether it was the former Prime Minister Khaqan Abbasi and Khwaja Asif, and you can name them, if the way they were taken into prison, put behind bars on the premise that it's investigation of a NAB case. Now, having said that, the way they picked up Imran Khan, the way they went into the Islamabad High Court, that was not legal at all. In fact, there is a court order which says, Islamabad High Court, that nobody is going to be picked up or arrested from the premises of the Islamabad High Court. The way they arrested him, and all the reports that I got, they said that they hit him on the head and they dragged him. The way that he was arrested is absolutely, and also that, whether they had, his lawyer was saying in court to Imran Khans that they had not sent him the documentation, they had not asked him to appear, and so on and so forth. I mean, there's obviously the whole history of, on the one hand, you have had then assassination attempt on Imran Khan, there's no denying that. On the other hand, Imran Khan therefore resisting arrest when police from Islamabad went on certain cases. So it's a complex fact, but both things are correct. That there was a case in which under the black NAB law, you could pick him up, but the way they arrested him was absolutely not correct. But the Islamabad High Court ended up saying it's fine. I think they've now gone to the Supreme Court. Also, Imran wasn't allowed to
Nasim, I'm going to stop you there because I want to bring in Javaid ur-Rahman here as well. This is something that we see in Pakistan constantly. A politician rises to power, he works with the army, then suddenly there's a falling out, whether it's with the army, with the other political institutions, then there are arrest warrants issued. It's a standard tactic within Pakistan. But does it really work? Does it have the desired effect?
Thank you very much. Actually, the present case against Imran Khan, I would like to mention here that the National Accountability Bureau has just amended its laws The previous practice, if I would like to mention here that politicians were arrested and 80 to 90 days remand they have faced. And Imran Khan and his party also has a petition in a Supreme Court about this amendment. And now, at the right moment, he is enjoying, he is taking benefit of this amendment. And you know that he was granted unbailable remand of physical remand of 8 days. So there are many things, but now situation has changed.
But Javid, I'm asking you about the tactic itself. I'm asking you about the tactic itself. This self-perpetuating idea that you can arrest politicians, you can throw them in jail. It's not working for Pakistan, surely. And it seems to me that you just accept it as how Pakistan operates.
Well, the situation is now very tense. Now there is a need of a dialogue. Now we cannot say that actually from last dialogue that was not in a friendly atmosphere, but two things were very important in that dialogue. That election will be held on the same day and results of election will be accepted. Now all the stakeholders should sit and go for the dialogue, because situation at every moment is getting worse. From we can say that from Karachi to Islamabad, even in Balochistan, there are violent protests without the leaders. Only two main leaders were arrested, and without their leaders, protesters are on roads.
Right.
Many of the roads has become war zones, and now there is need of a sanity. Education institutes remained closed, and we have seen that many ambulances were set on fire. Radio Pakistan building was set on fire. So there is a need to sit together. All the stakeholder, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif also summoned a cabinet meeting. He should discuss with his cabinet member about
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Javaid, I'm going to stop you there because I want to put that point to Zulfikar Bukhari, who's a senior member of Imran Khan's Tehreek-e-Insaf party. We're a very long way off from actually all of the parties sitting round a table and trying to come up with some sort of solution to this. That's not going to happen. But let's just take it back one step. When Imran Khan was ousted for power, he was about to try and make deals with Russia and with China. He was wanting to be closer to them than to the United States. The United States didn't like that, and therefore there was a soft coup. Many people in his party have suggested that he was ousted for that reason. Is that true?
Yes, of course, that's true. Imran Khan, our party, we wanted to serve our foreign policy in such a way which serves the 230 million people of our country. We had a fantastic relationship with the Trump regime. We hoped to have the same relationship with the Biden regime, but that shouldn't prevent us, just like our neighbor India, to do what is best and source certain resources from any country which we feel is better for the people of Pakistan, who are ultimately always suffering from inflation or hyperinflation in energy, let it be gas or electric. As for my friend, he just said, two senior leaders were arrested. I don't know how many he really wants to be arrested before this madness can really stop. I just want to make it very clear that there's close to about, if not 12, then about 10 confirmed people dead, shot dead, straight fires at civilians who are protesting. People are on the roads. There's mayhem. And let's not forget that we had 2 to 3 sittings with the entire all the rest of the parties about a joint election date. But the problem is that they can't afford elections because of Imran Khan's popularity. So it's a very simple equation, no matter how we try to gloss it. It's one person who's the most popular leader probably Pakistan has ever seen. And on the other side, all the parties combined are extremely unpopular. And everybody in the country knows that they're also being boosted by our establishment. So there's a lot of resentment that comes into the people from there. And so then after that, like my colleague Nasim Zehra said, is that the way he was brutally manhandled and arrested, I wouldn't even say arrested, I'd say abducted, because no one had any clue what was going on for a long time. And the way this sort of kangaroo court was set up last night at 11:30 that the case will be held over there, his lawyers, his representation was not allowed in for many hours before and not allowed to talk to their client. I mean, these are unprecedented scenes that you're seeing right now with a former prime minister. It's unbelievable, and trying to justify it just weakens our country's stance on an international level. We should call a spade and say what's happening right now is a man is being victimized because he has simply said that I don't want the establishment to step into the political space and make political decisions for our country. The political institutions.
Said, I want to take that point that you're making. I want to take that point that you're making and ask it to Nasim Zehra. There is a deep state in Pakistan. It's led by the army. The army control most of the shots. They brought Imran Khan into power. And when he pursued something that they didn't like, they removed him from power. The army has always been within Pakistan, whether it's been a democracy or indirect rule, they've always been the power in Pakistan. But now, they've always been respected by the people. But here we are seeing unprecedented scenes of a general's house being attacked by the people, of the court commander's office being attacked by the people. Is the army falling out of favour because of the way it's been acting?
Well, two or three very quick things. One, I think you asked earlier on, the pattern of the army bringing in somebody they like and then falling out and then throwing them out and bringing somebody in. I think this is, it's a two-way partnership, right? It's not the army does it unless and until the army has a team B, which is a political party. You had in 2017, you had Imran Khan, who was very popular, but was also aided and was also helped by the army, pre-poll when they pulled in people from other parties and brought them into PTI, and then the falling out, as you said, and on the falling out on the question of Russia and China, let me say this, that I think Pakistan's 2-decade-old policy continues, and I don't think that under any government we are going to move away from China. There's a structure of that relationship which is not going to change and hasn't changed, and this government has been in power for a year, and China, we've gotten closer, if anything. And with Russia, we now, when Imran Khan's government last days, they sent out a letter saying we are interested in buying oil, and this government has actually signed the deal. It's all done, and we should have Russian oil coming. So I just wanted to put that in perspective. It's not as if this government is coming and is going to change a policy which is fundamental to Pakistan's interests, which is China and Russia. On the American front, yes, of course, President Biden had an issue with Imran Khan. For several months, he never connected with him. And after the Afghan pull-out, terrible defeat they went through, they kind of, Imran Khan made a comment and they, took umbrage on that. So I think it's a little more complex. It's not like somebody just is going towards China and Russia and somebody throws them out. It's more complex. It's much more internal. And in terms of anybody, army boosting A, B, or C, the army, whoever is sitting on the sidelines waiting to come into power, the army offers them help and they take that help and they come in. And when they come in, then there's a falling out when the party that comes in just becomes too independent. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens now. What you see right now is that
Nasim, you say that you say that so matter-of-factly. Yes, the army will support a politician coming into power. That's not how it should be.
No, not at all. I am stating how the facts are. Somebody like me has been arguing that it is about time that, look, let's not forget that, and Zulfikar Bukhari is right here, he will bear me out, that when Imran Khan was in power, he treated the opposition like muck. He didn't want to engage with them when there were important meetings. He would make General Bajwa chair those meetings instead of being there himself. He had zero time for the opposition. In fact, he was happy to see them all behind bars, which is not to justify anything. I'm just explaining the phenomena to you. And so you now have a situation that instead of going for Charter of Democracy Chapter 2, where all these major parties should sit together. And that is what so many people like me have been arguing for, not month or whatever, we've been arguing for years. And I mean, I said to
Nasim, you've made your position very clear.
Yeah.
You've made your position very clear. Javaid, I will come to you in just a second. But Syed Zulfikar Bukhari, you've been shaking your head very violently throughout that entire answer by Nasim. Why?
Well, the reason being is that, first of all, nothing is signed with Russia. It's not as simple as that. They can't bring refined oil in. So that's all a myth. They thought they were going to come in and sign an IMF deal, and that's been prolonged for about 12 months now. And we've seen that that's also can't be done due to their incompetence, and left the country close to default compared to the 5.6, 5.8 GDP where we left it. Secondly, where she's saying that, look, the point is that, like you rightly said, Imran, you cannot justify that, the army will just pick whoever they want to and then bring them in, and then when they show their teeth to them, then they will kick it. You just can't. That's not a justifiable flaw. No one has said never to work with your army. It's our army. Of course, we're supposed to work with it and work with it day and night for the protection of our country. But the protection of our country, the betterment of our country, where we feel that they overstep the line and their mandate, it needs to be called out, and that's what it was, and that's what Imran Khan did. He wanted to run the government the way he wanted to run it, because at the end of the day, if it's not run that way, he is the one that's going to lose the election or win the election. So just making it very simple, this is normal behavior, it's not the case. Imran Khan never sat with the opposition because the opposition was convicted criminals, the felons who had run away from the country, who are not in the country, who have run away and have got billions of dollars stacked outside. Imran Khan does not have one brick that he has not claimed outside of the country. It's everything of his is with.
But he's on charge. He's on corruption charges for selling state property. So that's quite a serious offense.
He's on corruption charges. He's on corruption charges for selling something which he purchased from the government of what the percentage of the time was. Once he has purchased that becomes his own ownership. He has declared that in his capital gains tax. He has declared that in his wealth statement. So both places they're declared. I cannot question you once you own something if you would require to sell it. You can have a moral argument that should he be selling watches or not be selling watches, but there is no legal argument for him selling something which he has purchased legally, like every other prime minister has in the past. They've even purchased
we are running out of time.
They're not allowed to purchase.
We are running out of time, and you have made your point very clearly. Javaid, ur-Rahman, I want to bring you in here. One of the things that we're witnessing now that I think is actually unprecedented is a popular uprising and an anger against Pakistan's army. Do you think Pakistan's army realizes that?
Yes, I think now the situation is clearly telling that army has understood the situation. Now, if you see the latest PTI stance, they are saying that a peaceful protest will continue till releasing Imran Khan. Question is there that who will control the situation? Miscreants take advantages of these kind of situation. So I would say that that all the stakeholders, including army, politicians, opposition, treasury, all this should sit together and go for something, go for dialogue, and some middle way will be better to control the situation. I think so.
Are we going to get any middle way, any dialogue, Nasim Zehra? I can't see it right now. And certainly with Imran Khan's outspokenness, he's not making any friends in the opposition, is he?
No, he isn't. I think it's unfortunate that the last round of talks didn't end up with some sort of an agreement, because that, of course, in hindsight, would have been much better. And as far as, Zulfikar Bukhari's point about as if I'm suggesting for a second that it's normal for the army to intervene. People like me have been arguing that the army has no room in politics, but people like Zulfikar Bukhari and his leaders and every political party in this country has made sure that the army gets a space in politics when it suits them. That's the fundamental point. Unless the entire political class doesn't sit together and come up with, again, another charter of democracy, we're in a mess. And as far as the economic mess is concerned, of course, the IMF deal is going to get even much worse. So, I mean, I was talking about the Russian oil, which is coming. And I mean, there's nothing simplistic about saying that the Russian oil is going to come. And the point is that there are some fundamental things in Pakistan, which every, government will go by, whether it's a policy on Kashmir or whether it's policy on Israel or whether it's policy on India, Russia, China. So I think that on that front, there are too many political points scoring done, and I just want to keep that on the side. But
sorry, Nasim, we are actually running out of time. Syed Zulfikar Bukhari, one of the things Imran Khan is incredible at is being a street politician, understanding how the street works and mobilising the street. But right now, the street is actually rioting, and it's rioting against the army. All it's going to take is a state of emergency to be declared, martial law to be declared, and Imran Khan's in jail for a very long time. Is this the right tactic for him?
Look, right now, the outburst you see from the people is completely natural. If anyone thinks that we are controlling the people and the movement that's going on right now, that's not true. Not at all. Right now, people are doing what they're feeling to do. And they've had this anger. Let's not be beat around the bush about it. They've had this anger for about 12 months now in them. And Imran Khan, despite enjoying complete popularity in the country, has been very responsible with all his protests for the last 12 months. He's turned away and take U-turns in places where he's felt that any violence could break out. So he's used his power very responsibly. Right now, when their leader is arrested, they've taken things into their own hands. We absolutely condone any destruction of any public property or anything of the sort, but people are angry because you've done something which takes Pakistan 20, 30 years back. The problem is the same problem that we faced 12 months ago, that Imran Khan has been underestimated. They've underestimated his power. They've underestimated his support. The army, or let it be the establishment, or let it be this puppet government that's there at the moment, they have never seen a populist movement like what is in Pakistan at this moment. And they've underestimated how popular and how much people are going to come on the roads and on the streets for him, and how the movement's going to continue. So they've just underestimated him yet again, because they've never seen such popularity before.
I want to thank all our guests, Syed Zulfikar Bukhari, Nasim Zehra and Javaid ur-Rahman. And I want to thank you as well for watching. You can see the programme again anytime by visiting our website, aljazeera.com. And for further discussion, go to our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/AJ Inside Story. And you can also join the conversation on Twitter. Our handle is @AJ Inside Story. From me, Imran Khan, and the whole team here, bye for now.